What's up, everybody? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam, and for this video, talking Elite Eight matchup between Villanova versus Houston. So, really good game between these two teams. Not super surprised to see them meet in the Elite Eight. I know technically Houston was an underdog versus versus Arizona in their last round, but a lot of people predicted them to win, including myself. I thought Houston was going to win that game, and I didn't think they would dominate to quite the level they did, especially on defense, but they looked really good. So starting with them, it's funny. They're the 5 seed in the region, but they're actually the second rated team in the whole NCAA according to KenPom. They're top 10 on both offense and defense. The only team remaining that can say that. And just a really good team. To be fair, that KenPom rating does include games played in the tournament. So obviously they've moved up since then, since the tournament started. But they were highly rated before the tournament. In Villanova, using the same metrics, is only 11th according to KenPom, including the games in the tournament. So both teams have impressed. I would say Houston has looked a little more impressive, especially just because of the way they've beaten teams. Just absolutely dominated. Villanova, the first round against Delaware, they blew them out. Second round against Ohio State. Ohio State made a little bit of a comeback, but Villanova ended up pulling away late, winning that game relatively comfortably. And same thing against Michigan. They had the game pretty much in hand the whole way. Michigan made maybe a little bit of a run towards the end, but Villanova covered the spread, won by 8. The game was never really in serious doubt. Whereas Houston blew out Illinois in the second round, the 4 seed. Game wasn't even close. And pretty much blew out Arizona in the this most recent game, the 1 seed in their region. Houston, they were up at halftime by about 5 or 6. Arizona started to make a run, but anytime Arizona made a run, Houston came back with an either huge defensive stop or huge momentum-saving 3 on offense. So this Houston team, a typical MO of Kelvin Sampson, their head coach. They're incredibly stout defensively, and they crash the boards on offense. So against Villanova, who's also a pretty good defensive team, it all depends on how Villanova can shoot. They struggled a little bit shooting so far this year, headlined by Colin Gillespie, who went down with the knee injury late in the game against Michigan, so his status is going to be huge. Whereas Houston, they lost their best player, Marcus Sasser, earlier in the year and have just kept on winning. So looking at the money line odds in this game, there's no really play here. The OddsJam perfect line favors Houston in this one, minus 139. Villanova's plus 123. There's no play here on the money line. There's no positive expected value play or anything like that. It is kind of funny that Houston, being the 5 seed, is favored over Villanova as the 2 seed. But when you look at just these two teams' season as a whole and just how they've been playing recently, it makes sense. With that said, where I did find a play, and my official play for this game is I love Houston. So I got them at -2. I got them at minus 110 on Caesar Sportsbook. I know technically the OddsJam perfect line prices them at minus 108, but this spread opened up at 1.5. It moved to 2.5. Now it's back down to 2. I think that money is going to start coming in a little more on Houston, and I love them in this matchup. I've seen enough. What they did to Arizona, a better offensive team than Villanova. I think they can win, and I think they're going to cover the 2-point spread. It makes sense, if you're like me and you do think Houston's going to win, it makes sense to take them -2 as opposed to the money line. In the off chance they win by exactly 1, that would hurt. But it's unlikely to happen, and I just have a lot of faith in Houston in this game. Obviously, they made a run in the tournament last year, only falling short to the eventual national champion. And I just I have a lot of faith in Houston, like I said, in this matchup. I think they're well coached. I think that Villanova, I think they're going to struggle to score, even though it does hurt fading a Jay Wright team because he's such a good coach. This Villanova offense can sometimes get a little bit stuck in mud. It can kind of be, counting on Colin Gillespie to win in the post, and against a physical Houston team, I don't see that strategy going well. They're really going to rely on hot shooting. They had 3 players shoot over 34% from 3, which is good, Gillespie being one of them, but if they don't really catch fire from deep, then it's going to be tough sledding, and this Houston defense is good at limiting teams in that regard. So getting Houston -2 I really like, and that's my official play. I locked this in on Caesars. Locked it in, as you can see on the screenshot here. Official play, Houston -2. Looking at the total, it's pretty low. It's sitting at 128, 128 and a half, depending on where you look. My guess is that this game goes under, so I would take the under on MGM, Caesars, or WinBet. It's not an official play for me, but if you're gonna lock it in, if you're gonna play the total and to get an official prediction out there, I think it goes under. Two really good defensive teams, two teams that have played well defensively in the tournament so far, which is big, and two coaches that I trust in their players to perform well defensively. And in general, in a college game like this with two really good defenses, even though the total is as low as it is, I have more faith in the defenses coming up big than the offenses, hitting tough shots, stuff like that. So my favorite play in this game is Houston -2, but to have a play on the total, I'll take the under 128 and a half. And that's all I got for you. So let me know what you think of the analysis. You can hit me up at my Twitter handle below. You can also comment on the video and provide your feedback that way. Other than that, would appreciate a like on the OddsJam YouTube this video and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But that is all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.